Okay, hello everyone. My name is Dr. DrKJTrades, pharmacist and badass options trader. Thank you for joining me today, where we're going to talk about how to create your ideal chart on Thinkorswim. So I hope you guys can see my screen. So what we have is a paper trading account on the Thinkorswim platform. Okay. So every time you open up an account, it gives you a paper trading account that has $200,000 in it. I'm going to show you the best way to customize your chart. So when you're navigating through the Thinkorswim platform, you get rid of all the noise and it allows you to become a faster and more efficient trader. Okay. So when we're done, your chart is going to look kind of like this, nice and clean. This is an example of a 1 year, 1 day chart on the SPY. So when we're done, that's how your chart is going to look. Okay. All right, let's get started. This is the paper trading Thinkorswim account. This is the main screen under the monitor tab. So we have your activities and positions. I'm not going to go through every single tab and what it means. I'm just going to go through how to create a wonderful, clean chart that's easy to understand and helps you get rid of all the noise. Thinkorswim is the Bentleys of trading platforms, so it can become a little overwhelming if you're not used to navigating it. And I'm just going to help save you some time. Okay, so thank me by subscribing to my YouTube channel, DrKJTrades. Okay, let's get started. So I like when I group my positions, my options positions and my stocks, I like to have them separate. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Make sure your activities and positions tab is highlighted. Then you go to these 3 little drop down lines, click on it and go to group symbols. Right now, none is checked. You want to click spreads. So you want to highlight stocks, single and vertical. What that would do is group your position under a single options, like a 1 leg, or a spread, or the stock. Okay, so you hit OK. And then when you go back on there, none is going to be checked, but you want to make sure that all 3 of them have a check mark. Okay, so then you want to make sure you're arranging your positions by instrument. And what that will do is arrange your positions by the stock. Okay, so then you would go to account statement. If you have total all accounts highlighted up here, it's not going to give you a breakdown of your trade history. So what you want to do is you just want to click on each account and it'll help you it'll give you a breakdown of your order history, your trade history. And basically this is every single trade that you have filled or have currently working. Okay, so make sure that if you're trying to see more of your transactions, your trading transactions, then total account is not highlighted. The actual individual account is highlighted. Okay, so that's basically the monitor tab. I use trade history a lot. This will show me the history of my whole entire trading history. So I opened up a special account that doesn't have any trades in here just so I can show you the best and ideal way to customize your Thinkorswim chart. Okay, the next tab that I use is the 3 main tabs I use is the monitor tab, the trade tab, and the chart tab. I rarely use analyze, scan, market watch, tools, education, or help. Feel free to use them. I'm just going to show you how to use the monitor, trade, and chart tab. Okay. So under my trading tab is basically the options chain that I use. So if you click on to the option chain for today, this is the SPX. I want you to make sure that you have all of your strikes highlighted in all. Okay. So that will allow you to see all the different type of strikes that are available. It comes populated with just 4, but then you're not able to see all the different strikes. So you want to put all, and it'll give you all the information that you need. Okay. So then I have what I like to change on my option chain is the layout. So it's automatically, it comes pre-populated last, net change, bid or ask, okay? There's a little bit more detail that you need to capture all the information to become a more efficient trader, okay? So what you would do is go to customize. And then I don't use last or net chain. What you do want to have is you want to make sure that you have the delta. You want to make sure that you have your theta. You want to make sure that you have your gamma, open interest. Okay. And the ones that are closer to the bottoms are the ones that's going to show up closer to your bid ask spread that's already going to be populated on the chart. So the bid ask is automatically going to be, it's already going to be stationary on there. So I want to make sure that you move the delta down, move your theta down, move your gamma down, and you can keep your open interest where it's at. I also like to have extrinsic value on my chart as well. So I'm gonna move that up. So you can move them and I'll show you what the current set looks like. So then once you hit OK, so do you see how it populated all the different columns that the necessary information that you need to be able to make money, okay? And there's tons of stuff that you could customize your options chain to have. This is what I feel is most preferred and allows you basically just to have the most important columns that are visible. But if you go on here, I mean, there's a lot of information that you put. If you want to put implied volatility on there, you can, but it's also going to be right here as well. So I don't usually put that on there. The mark price, probability of in the money I sometimes use, but that's usually you can get that from your delta. So this is pretty much my standard set, okay? And I suggest you use that as well. The ask and the bid are already going to be on there, so you don't need to put that on your customizable set, okay? So that's going to be your options chain. Make sure you change all your strikes to all, okay? So let's go to the next tab. I want to show you the different timelines, what my favorite timelines are. Okay, so it already has populated these time frames here. Okay, you don't necessarily need all of these, but what you do definitely need is you want to have the 6 month 1 day, and you want to have the max that's available for any given stock. Okay. So let's go into the time frame so we can see. And this is during live market hours, so you can see what happened on what's going on with the SPX right now. So under time frame, what you need to do is you can click on, I want to have on mine, I want scroll down to daily. So you go click on daily and then scroll. We want to make sure you have 1 year, 1 day on here. So that's a 1 day, 1 day, 1 year, 1 day chart. Everything you want to stay here, you just make sure it's starred. Okay. So, so these are all the ones that are currently starred, and actually you can get that from the settings chart, but I want to show you that you can get it from here as well. Okay. I'm also going to put the 6 month 1 day on here, 6 month 1 day. Okay. And then I'm going to star it. Okay. So I like to have 6 month 1 day. I like to have 1 year, 1 day, 1 day, 1 minute, 5 day, 5 minute. I usually don't use the 5 day, 15 minute or the 10 day, 30 minute. I will look at the 20 day, 1 hour. I never look at the 180 day, 4 hours because I have the 6 month 1 day. So, and it makes your chart look too messy. So I never look at that. Okay. So let's go to this first beaker here. So we went over the monitor tab, the trade tab, the chart tab. Now we're going to go to this first beaker, which is the studies tab. Okay. So currently we don't have any studies here. My favorite studies that I like to use to check support and resistance is the simple moving averages. So you click on simple moving average and you add it. This one automatically populates to the 9. You can have that. That's just a very short time frame. So in order to change it and make it, the time frames that I use are 20. I use the 20, the 50, and the 200. Okay. So you have to click on this gear. So this is at the 9. You want to change this to 20. Okay. So you just click on it and then make it 20. I always have my 20 as turquoise. Okay. You're going to, so it's going to show the study and then you just hit OK. You're going to create another simple moving averages. So click on that again and then go to add selected. So it populated as the 9. You want to change that to the 50. Okay. I like my 50 to be blue. So this is the color blue that I like. Hit OK. So you see how you're able to change the different color of the simple moving averages. You can get fancy like with the width of the line and the style and all that, but you know, feel free, have at it, go experiment. For what we're doing, this is what we're going to use. Okay. So I have the 20, I have the 50. I'm also going to add the 200. So let's do that with the gear. Make this 200. I like my 200 to be fuchsia. Okay. So this is fuchsia. Hit OK. Okay. So these are the 3 simple moving averages that I always have on my chart, the 20, the 50, and the 200. You can also put different studies like the MACD, add. You can use the RSI. I use RSI crossover, add. And then if you want, you could do the ATR, which is the average true range. I like to see what the average true range is for the stocks that I'm doing, so I can kind of predict on where I think the next level of support and resistance would be. Okay, so add that. So these are all the studies and the study sets that I use. I might sometimes, if I really want to, you know, get creative or see more information on the chart, I might add stuff like volatility studies, but for what the basics, the basic chart should have these on there. And you can check out my YouTube video on the MACD, on the ATR and the RSI crossover, and also simple moving averages. But these are important to have. Okay. So once you did that, you want to apply them so they can automatically all go onto your chart. Okay. And then you can save this set. Each time you can have different sets that you use. This is what could be like called standard. Okay. But let's say you're looking for different information. You can have different sets on there. Okay. And let's say this is too busy for you, right? Let's say this is too busy. You could just go to the studies and either click here and uncheck it, hit apply, see how that MACD went away, or if you want like that, apply, it's back, or you could just hit X, but that deletes it from your entire set. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add it back. Okay, and then make sure it's checked. Okay, so now it's back. Okay, so there is a short, okay, so that is adding the studies. This to me is a little messy. I don't like to have the volume, the average true range, and the MACD all showing up at the same time. So what I would like to do is make them as quick tabs. And you do that by going into the chart settings, okay? So this chart settings, and like I said, Thinkorswim is very robust. So it allows you to customize the way you want your charts to look. I like if you highlight any of these arrows, like this, the studies, it will show them and hit apply. It will show them as a short tab on this style. So you see how before that style, this wasn't on here. So once I click uncheck this box, they all go away. And it allows me to quickly use the information I need for whenever I need it. So right now it's not on here. If I want to see it, I could just click on there, and then the studies are on the bottom of my chart. Okay. But I like to usually have a nice clean chart. So you do that by highlighting these boxes under the chart settings tab. Okay. So you go through, if you want your orders, you can to be seen on your chart, you can click on that, or unclick if you don't want it on there. But to make it a short tab, a short menu, you could put fill in this square, short orders, apply, and it will be on show orders. I don't really use, careful because you don't want this list to get too long. So I'm gonna go ahead and uncheck that because I don't really need my orders to be shown on my charts, okay? What I do like on my chart is I wanna make sure this also says Eastern time, because sometimes it might say Central time, but you wanna make sure it says Eastern time. So you can go through, TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, they have some great tutorials on how to navigate the Thinkorswim. So I'm not going to go into all of this, but there's another chart that I want you to see. I want you to click My Tools and click on each chart. And this will allow us to set up our drawings and pin it to our chart. Okay, so on each chart, hit apply. And what just happened, this drop down just popped up. Okay. This drop down will allow you to put drawings on your chart, okay? My ideal drawings that I have is trend line. I have text note. I don't have simple moving average because I already have it from under my studies. So I'm going to get rid of this simple moving average. So what you'll see, you'll configure these buttons. So I'm going to get rid of this button here. I'm going to add channel. I'm going to add price level, which is this drawing tool. And I'm going to add Fibonacci's retracements. Okay, so these are the buttons that I have snapped directly to my chart. You can, of course, add other stuff. I don't use all of that because then it starts to get too messy. Okay, so then I'm done. So now I have the trend line. I can draw trend lines. Once it's highlighted, so let's say I want to find out the price level, I highlight it, and then I could just create a price level to my chart. I'm going to show you how to make the price show up on this line and how to change the color. Okay, so if you want to ever delete a drawing, you just right click and remove drawing. Okay, all right, so let's go back to this gear, which is the chart settings. Okay, so that was under general. Under price axis, I like to show a little bit more information on my chart. These charts sometimes is too like squished to the top. So I like to give myself 20% on the top. Okay, so you just hit 20 and then hit apply. And you see how it went down a little bit just to give you a little bit of wiggle room to the top so everything doesn't look so squished. Okay, I don't use anything else on the price axis. If you want to fit your alerts, your orders, yeah, you can do all that. I don't use all that. Okay, so the next one I use is my time axis. So I also need to see more information than what my chart is showing me here at the very far right. So I like it to give me at least 20 bars to the right. So I change that expansion area to 20 bars to the right. Make sure you click apply, and you see you get a little bit more information. If that's too much information, you can change it to like 10, hit apply, and then it'll customize that way. Okay, make sure you're hitting apply after you change each one. And if you want to make any of these like short tabs under the style menu, you can highlight these squares and they'll automatically go to the style menu. So this is the time interval that we just, we added the 6 month 1 day. So you can add whatever time period you like. I like to also have max available, and this is just another way of doing it. But when I like max available, I like my aggregation period to be a week. Okay. So we're also going to apply and put that here. So if you go here, now it's on your time frame. If you want to make it favorite, just make it a star. Okay, that's another way of doing it. You can do it from here, or you can do it from the chart settings, okay, under time access. Your favorite time frames, this is another way of doing it. These settings affect all charting. So like I was telling you before, I like my 1 day, 1 minute, my 5 day, 5 minute, my 5 day, 15 minute, I don't really use. My 10 day, 30 minute, I don't use. If you don't use it, delete it. Because so it's more crystal clear and more concise. I don't, sometimes I use the 20 day, 1 hour. I don't use the 180 day, 4 hours. So I'm deleting that. I will have the 3 years weekly. I will have the 1 year daily, the 6 month, 1 day, and the max weekly. Okay. So if you ever want to add any other time frames, this is where you would do it right here. Okay. The next tab is going to, and then make sure you apply and then hit OK to get out of that. But we want to stay in because I want to show you some more information. So go to appearance. So I like to look at candlestick trend. Okay. Right now it's just on candlesticks. I like to see the trend of what happened the previous day, that type of thing. So I want you to change this chart type to candle trend. Okay. And that will help you determine, was there more buying that day, more selling that day, and compared to the previous day's close. Okay. And that's all I use. If you don't like this grid, you can uncheck that grid, hit apply, and that grid goes away. Okay. So I'm going to show you how that looks. Now I don't have that grid. The standard time frame that I use is 6 month, 1 day. And now look at how clean that looks when you get rid of that grid. Okay, so let's keep playing with it. Go back in. Okay, so now that was the appearance tab, and there's tons of stuff that you can, go on if you want to, change. Oh, you can get lost doing this. I don't want you to get too far down that rabbit hole because I want you to spend more time making money. So let's go to equities. Okay. If you want to show extended hours trading, these are checked. If you don't like it on your chart, you could just uncheck it. Okay. Also, you can do on your appearance. You just want to make sure that you can change like the back. If you want the grid on there, you can change the color to look like that. But I feel like that gets too noisy. So I just leave it unchecked. Okay. Apply. Okay. Oh, so we have the time frames. We have the next one is the style. And that's what I was telling you, how you can have short codes here. So let's see what short codes we want to have on our style menu. We definitely want studies on there because that'll show like our moving day averages. So I keep that checked, hit apply. Now our moving averages that we just populated from the studies are on the charts. If you want, let's see. Okay, so let's say you want to put a price level at your chart where you feel support or resistance may be. You highlight it, click on your chart, put it there, and then you right click it to customize it. So let's edit this property. Okay, so I'm going to edit this color. I like to have my price levels pink, and I want to show the price on the left side of that line. Okay, so I put show price on left side, and then this is the style, and I want to save this as a default because I want all of my price levels to look like that. Okay, then hit OK. So you see how it put that price level there. So then when you go to, let's say, another chart, and let's say you have price level, you click on it, and you can pin this here so it won't go back up. Okay, so pin that price level. So now they're going to be all pink with the price level there. Okay. So let's see. And then last but not least, I'm going to show you how to create alerts. So whatever level that the chart is currently trading on, you can click on that level, and then you can add create an alert. It's automatically going to populate where you right-clicked it, but you can put your alert at any level. So let's say I want to put an alert when Facebook gets below 260 even. So when Facebook, the mark price of Facebook gets below $260, it's going to chime. How is it going to chime? It's going to notify me with a bell, and it's also going to send a notification to my mobile. Okay, so you can customize it by a ding, a ring, a chime. You can edit the custom sounds. I just have a bell. And you can play it so you can see how it sounds, okay? If you want it to chime again, like when it goes down to 260 and when it crosses over back up, just go alert for reverse crossover, create a regular alert, and then hit create. And now that alert is created. Sometimes you have a lot of alerts. If you don't like the way that looks on your chart, you have to go to the chart set. Do not show. Or you could just show arrows. Just say do not show. So now the alert is gone, but it's still there. It's just not on the chart, okay? You want to avoid having your charts where they're not so noisy like this, okay? So check this out. This is ideal. This is how you want your account statement to look. Make sure it has that order history, trade history. This is another ideal chart, nice and clean. You don't want to have all these studies at the bottom of the chart though, because it scrunches up your chart and it gives you less data to see, okay? Okay, I hope you like this video.